I've seen some pretty crazy shit in prison and in my life. What? Everywhere. God, I'm even lucky to be around. But I'm gonna give you 5 of the craziest things that I've seen people put up their ass in prison. Let's get into this video. Hey, what's up guys? My name's JC. You already know, I am Wrong the Strong. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss none of my shenanigans. If you're part of my crew, mi familia, mi raza, mi pandilla, súbanse a la suburban. Let's take this video on a ride. What's up guys? Hey, you already know, welcome to another episode of Wrong the Strong shenanigans. But story about my life, prison, United States, state, federal, Mexico. I mean, what the fuck haven't I done? One of these days I'm gonna have to do a video about all the jobs that I did have when I was trying to be legit. And even in my jobs, always was the boss. Always. Started as a laborer, superintendent down the road, but that's another episode. Today we're talking about the 5 craziest things I've seen people put up their ass in prison. It's crazy, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive in there. Me, never was really into that, never could really get into it, and it was just not really a lifestyle for me. But there is prisoners in there that's what they do, and they get paid by other prisoners to do that stuff, and some prisoners do it for survival. You do what you gotta do, and that's what it is. I mean, you've seen it in movies. I mean, the movie Shot Caller, you know, where the guy goes into the prison and he's got to stick that balloon up his ass. You know, it is what it is. And I mean, you're always playing the cat and mouse game with the guards, you know, and shakedowns and all that shit. So it's constantly, it is what it is. You know, it's a cat and mouse game, and you gotta hide shit that you're not supposed to have. All right, let's get into this shit. Number 1, that's pretty common and in everyday life in there is drugs. Drugs, cigarettes, any contraband that has to do with alternating your mind is a must. There's a lot of people hiding it in there. Shakedown, stuff like that happens. There's a lot of guys that just keep it in their ass the whole time and just pop it out once in a while to you know, give it to somebody or get some business done. And that's what it is. If you think that's odd, then I mean, maybe you've never done no time. 2 is cell phones. Cell phones are a big thing in there, and once you get one in, they try to make it last as long as they can, and it's just what it is because people want to communicate with their loved ones, and they want to be able to talk without watching what they're saying. Because remember, when they're using the phones from the prison, they're getting recorded and stuff like that. So it's very hard to check on people's backgrounds, paperwork, stuff like that with a phone from the prison. You want to use a cell phone so that way you can kind of talk a little bit more openly about street business and stuff that's going on. So phones are a really big thing in there with the whole hiding it in the anal cavity. And I actually had a celly. He was from Puerto Rico. He was our nieta, and he would practice to get ready because he knew he was getting a phone brought in. So he started practicing with an ivory soap, and what he did is that he cut it. He had one that was smaller, then a little bigger, and then the size of the phone, and that's how he started practicing. And I used to make fun of him all the time because he used to sit on the toilet and, you know, slide it in, slide it out, slide it in, slide it out, and I'd be like, you're starting to like freak me out, dude. But nah, he was a good dude, really good dude, stand-up dude, down as fuck. And you know, like I said, you do what you gotta do to survive. It's not on no homo shit, none of that shit. Trust me, these are fucking killers that are surviving in there. So, you know, the next one's a little crazy because this is why they invented. There's a chair that's in prison that they make you sit down on now every time you go on a transfer court case or go to visitation. They make you sit on this chair that actually detects metal inside your body because a lot of prisoners hide knives in their ass. Yeah, imagine that one. We're getting into a fight, I'll be like, wait, motherfucker. All right, let's go. So, if I don't stab you to death, you're probably gonna die from the infection because I got poop on my shit. Crazy life, man. Crazy life. But who would have thought we would survive that shit and be out here? Look at us now. Hey, it is what it is, but thank you, Lord, for keeping me safe. The next one has to go to one of my boys. I'm gonna leave his name out because it is what it is, man. But we actually got called in to do a drug test, and he already knew what time it was. So he got ready. We went into the bathroom. He started putting it together. You know, it was a tattoo gun, battery, cigarettes, weed, ink, everything. Because he already knew we were going to go to the hole for a minute. And he just put it all together. He's like, keep a lookout for me. And I was just looking out for him. He wrapped it all up, put it in. We went in, we drug test. Yep, they sent us to the fucking hole. We tested positive for marijuana. And we got sent to the hole. But you know, the beautiful thing was is that all I could hear him was tattooing himself the whole time we were down there. And you know, he was sending me joints here and there through a Apple with a secret compartment. It was a fun. We ended up staying there for 60 days under investigation, but it was a fun 60 days in the hole because all we did was tell jokes at night, sing, and just kick it. You know, we used to play chess through the vents, you know, and it was a good time. I have to say, it was a good time. The next one goes to this OG that I knew. He had been down for over 20 years. But for those 20 years, he had 3 pictures of his wife that was completely naked in the pictures, you know, because you can't have that in prison. You can't have no pornographic, I don't know why. It's fucked up that you want to keep this man off from, you know, that's why fucking rapes and all this bullshit happens. But you can't have nothing pornographic in there. And so he had these pictures of his wife that he's carried around with him for years through all the federal prisons he's been to. And every time there was a shakedown, he would put them up his ass to hide them. And that's the only thing that he would worry about. He wouldn't worry about nothing else. You know, he didn't do drugs, none of that shit. And he was just a triple OG that I respected a lot. He was from Miami, Cuban, que voila, Charlie. You know, a lot of these dudes are not ever coming home, and they do what they gotta do to survive because that's a world inside of another world. Different rules apply, a way of life applies. Just like when the doors pop open at 5 a.m. you gotta be ready to go. Your boots have to be on. You gotta be suited up and booted up, ready to go. It's just the way of life, man, that for many years I thought that that's how I was gonna spend the rest of my life. I'm very, very blessed to be free, alive, and to be out here, doing this, sharing my story, sharing my trials, my tribulations, my sad, my happy, just everything. For that, I have you guys to thank. But before we go, I know I only said five crazy things that I see people in jails called keister. We had the phone, we had the knives, we had the drugs, we had the tattoo gun, and we had the pictures. But we have to bring back El Mágico. Yes, El Mágico has to come back. If you guys have not seen the craziest things I've seen in American prison, then I'll leave the link on the cards and you need to check it out because El Mágico is a superstar right here. Hey, my name's JC. I am Wrong and Strong. Don't judge nobody. Give somebody a hug. Live savage. And remember, you only have one life to live. But if you live it right, one life is all you need. I'll check you guys on the rebound.